Hi, in this video, we're going to look at the number one thing that you can do to start a conversation when you're networking. And it's going to be different to anything you've ever heard before. Hi, I'm Matt Elwell, Elite Closing Academy. In this video, we're going to look at the number one thing that you can do to really engage in conversation when you're networking. The very first time I went networking, I was absolutely gobsmacked. It was only about 3 years ago. Gobsmacked at just how many people just and tell you their story when you're networking. Everything I'm about to tell you right now is the opposite of what everybody else does, and that's actually the reason why it works. The number one thing you must do when you're networking before you get there is get super clear on your outcome of going to the networking meeting. So this is before you get there. Just before you get there, ask yourself this question: what is my outcome? When you get super clear on that, that's when you can really implement the one thing when you get there that you have to do. So there's two phases to this. Phase number one, before you get there, ask yourself, what's my outcome, my strongest reason for being there? Now, for example, if it was me, I would be looking to find as many people in the room that need what I do so that I can serve as many people and teach them how to sell and close congruently. The only way I can find that out is by asking a question. So the first and foremost is I've got to be super clear on my outcome of being there. So now I'm looking for people that need what I do. So when you get to the networking meeting, as you walk through the door, you must make sure that you're armed with what I call a PPQ, a prospecting pain question. So a question that when answered qualifies that the person who just answered it might possibly need what you do. So here's the advantage: it saves you loads of time, cuts to the quick, and when delivered sort of in a way where you're being genuine, it's a question that enables them to answer. It really gets everything started and opens up a possible door. So if I walk into a room, or when I walk into a room of networkers, I will ask a question such as, rather than, hey, what's your name? I will start with, hey, I'm Matt. Pause, by the way, that breaks just about every single piece of my training. Breaks all the rules because I'm always looking to make it about them. Just bear with me on this. So I'm going to start with what we call a frame. I'm going to frame who I am and what I stand for. So I'm going to set my intention right up front. So I'm going to start again. Hey, I'm Matt. I'm international class at closing deals. That's my frame. Now I want to get straight into a question that when answered would bring them towards me as a qualified client. So, hey, I'm Matt. I'm international class at closing deals. That's the frame. Here comes the question. Let me ask you a question. When it comes to your sales process, and in particular, closing deals, what's your biggest challenge right now? That's it. It's just ask a really powerful question. Now, I'm role playing with myself right now. So I'm going to continue this role play so that you can hear what actually happens at this point. So you'll either get a bit of a giggle, oh, great question is the kind of thing you'll hear. And then often they'll say, yeah, well, we're okay at sales, but if we could get a bit more help, it would be finding out who to speak to. So straight away they've answered a question that's linked to what I do, it's linked to my outcome, and it's linked to a possible pain they might have. And that instantly, it's qualification. We're looking to qualify prospects all the time. Remember, when you're networking, it's full of cold prospects, people that don't exactly know what you do and you don't know much about them. The whole point of this is to ask a powerful question that's linked to what you do, that when answered brings them towards you. I want to role play this again. Hi, I'm Matt. I'm international class at teaching people how to sell and close deals. Let me ask you a question. When it comes to your sales process, and in particular closing deals, what's your biggest challenge right now? That's how you create a come towards. Now, let's just carry on the role play. And the prospect says, yeah, look, we're all right at sales, but we could always do a bit of help with closing. I'll be like, brilliant, thanks for that. And what help do you need specifically? Now I'm entering into a conversation where I'm going to make it all about them, and where I'm going to understand exactly what they might need from a trainer like me. And this is where I would now progress, only if they answer in a way where it's clear that I can help them. I'm going to progress into my punt with a Q prospecting strategy. Pain, urgency, need, trust, and qualitative information. So I'll be asking questions around those things if somebody came towards me. Hope that makes it really clear. So the next time you go networking, think about what question you can ask that when answered makes it very clear that the person or the business that's answering might possibly need what you do. If you enjoyed this video about networking, make sure you hit the subscribe button, ping the notification bell, and you get my free training every Tuesday afternoon at 5 p.m. And make sure you watch more videos, there's lots of them.